In this book, you'll find details about the ancient culture of India and about our hidden past. Get the book on Amazon or read it for free on Kindle. Welcome to the second video of the series Nagas, a shape-shifting history. In these videos, I'm going to read some excerpts from the book chapter by chapter. In the second video, I'm going to talk about chapter 2 and chapter 3, namely regarding the ancient texts of Ramayana and Mahabharata. Chapter 3, titled The Mysteries in the Ramayana, detailed a lineage of bloodlines of kings factually described and thoroughly outlined in the Ramayana. Not only that, but also I described some places that are described in that epic and that can find evidence in the real world. There are some factual information that can be taken out of the Ramayana and confront with events or concrete evidence that what is told in the epic belongs more to history than mythology. Some examples, you can see here the picture of the Cobra Hood cave. And this cave is located in Sigiriya, Sri Lanka, proven to be a natural formation and untouched by human hands, which has taken the shape of a cobra. Inside there are paintings depicting scenes of Sita being captured by the Asuras. Then there is the exile location. There is a place called Panchavati near Nashik, claimed by many to be the same place where Rama, Sita and Lakshmana lived for 14 years after being exiled from the royal palace. Today, Panchavati houses several temples. Then we have Sita in Sri Lanka. Ravana took Sita to his kingdom in Lanka. They first stopped at Sita Kotuwa, then to Ashok Vatika. Both locations still exist today. Sita Kotuwa is a touristic place and Ashok Kavanam is identified with Ashok Vatika. Here we can see a very curious image of the footprints, giant footprints, called the Lord Hanuman's footprints in Ashokvanam. Near Ashokvanam, there are footprints allegedly belonging to Hanuman. They are of different size as told in the Ramayana. Lord Hanuman was the strongest among the Vanaras army that Rama used to rescue his beloved Sita from the kingdom of Ravana. Lord Hanuman was given special powers from Rama so that he could locate Sita with maximum precision. Hanuman was also given the power to change in size from a giant to an average monkey. We shift to some extracts from chapter 4, the Mahabharata Enigmas. It's a natural continuity with the previous epic. Although the mainstream academy is still skeptical and rejects the Mahabharata as being an account of true events, it still fails to explain why this epic has such a deep impact on Hindu society. In my opinion, a true scientist or researcher should not rely solely on factual evidence compatible with researcher should not in existing time-level events or data, but also accept that history is a dynamic and multi-layered combination of physical evidence, emotional memories, and psychological patterns. The truth which unifies all that is indeed a relative concept, made out of so many elements to render the attempt of drawing a linear chronology nearly impossible, if not outright meaningless. If we think to explain events of 5,000 years ago with the eyes and the mindset of our modern era, it's no surprise that most of them would be dismissed as mythological. If we, on the other hand, set aside the egotistic idea that our science knows everything, perhaps we will look at the past not as a line, but as a widening arm of a spiral. It only appears logical to me that as time has accelerated in the past 200 years, space has narrowed down, either because the duration of the events is significantly shorter, or because our perception has also narrowed, focused as it is to relentless descent toward the center of the spiral. There is strong evidence still existing today that gives the Mahabharata a credible origin. One is the records of Bharat dynasties and real historic lineage. Book of Beginning, or Adi Parva, is the first of the 18 books of the Mahabharata. And in chapter 62, the Bharat dynasty is mentioned and its lineage is recorded in perfect details. Another evidence, the Mahabharata states clearly that it is an ETS.
The Sanskrit word for history, the words Purana and Itias, were specifically coined in ancient times to categorize ancient versus recent events respectively. Both terms denote historical events which have taken place at different times. If the writer had the intention to compose a poem or a work of fiction, he would have labeled it as a Mahakavya, epic, or Katha, story. We also have a description of the modern world. The Mahabharata was written thousands of years ago, and yet by reading the description of Kali Yuga, one can see how whatever Krishna predicted about future civilizations in modern times, the Kali Yuga, actually happened. These were not prophecies, but are in fact part of Gita. Talk about the lost city of Dwarka, some archaeological evidence, but I want to read here, the important part is the continuity with Ramayana. The Mahabharata epic is a progression from the Ramayana records of the royal dynasties and in a coherent chain of events. The relations between different kings and their bloodlines are a perfect match between the two documents, although they are thousands of years apart. Theory of physics. I mentioned also Oppenheimer quoting the Mahabharata during the first experiment in the nuclear bomb is not by accident. How about the flying vehicles of nuclear war, the Vimana? The Mahabharata describes the event of a nuclear bomb in very powerful detail. Flying a swift and powerful Vimana hurled a single projectile charged with all the power of the universe. An incandescent column of smoke and flame, as bright as 10,000 suns, rose in all its splendor. It was an unknown weapon, an iron thunderbolt, gigantic messenger of death, which reduced to ashes the entire race of the Vrishnis and the Andakas. The corpses were so burned as to be unrecognizable. The hair and nails fell out, pottery broke without apparent cause, and the birds turned white. After a few hours, all foodstuffs were infected. To escape from this fire, the soldiers threw themselves in streams to wash themselves and their equipment. It's such a beautiful and it's tragedy, because now we know what a nuclear blast can produce. That's it for this video. Stay tuned for the next one. I'm going to go ahead by reading more excerpts from my book, Nagas, A Shape-Shifting History.